Hi guys, we'll just wait for a few more minutes and then we'll start with today's live session, which is on data validation. So today we are only going to look at data validation, nothing else, no VLOOKUP or no other formula or anything. Today we are just focusing on data validation. So we'll just wait 1 minute and then we'll start. I've already prepared the data and everything to easily explain what data validation is all about. All those people who are waving me, hello to everyone, and thank you for joining. So let's start now. So what is data validation? So normally Excel is used as a very common tool for gathering data, sharing data. But if we leave it up to everyone, then everyone can put data in any form. So let's say a very simple example, you have to mention your gender. Now normally the gender people can write male, female, people can write M, F, M dot, F dot. There are so many ways in which people can express their gender value. But you in your system only want two particular values, M and F. Then how do you restrict it? So data validation is simply a mechanism in Excel with which you can restrict the users to specify only certain values, and this is just not for a list of values. There are many types of data validation that you can apply in Excel. So let's get started. So what you see on screen right now is that there are few students whose name is written in the column A. What you see in red is the condition that needs to be fulfilled. So if somebody is mentioning their gender, it can only be M and F. You already see that there are some values which are not matching the rule. Similarly for age, only people between 18 to 36 age are allowed. So the age has to be between that value. Username cannot be more than 10 characters. Date of joining cannot be before 1st of January 2020. And highest qualification should come from this particular list only. You cannot just supply any value in this column. So some of the values I have already filled. Few of them are following the rules and few of them are not following the rules. So first let's see the most simplest form of data validation is how you can provide a set of values from which users can choose. So basically you're going to give a drop down to the users from which they can choose the values and put it in their Excel. So let's say in this particular area, I want to apply the data validation that the only values that the user should be able to fill is M and F. So for that, first you go into the data tab at the top and then you click on the data validation, which will open your data validation dialog box or the data validation window. Now, under the any value section, you select list. And since this list is very small, only two values are there. So you type M, F, and that's it. And click OK. Now if you will see in all the drop downs, let's first try where we don't have the values present. You will see that two values are present, M and F. And if you try to put anything else, let's say I try to type male, it will not allow me. It will keep throwing error until either I delete this value or I provide the correct value. If I provide the correct value, it is going to select. So this is how you can restrict the users from inputting the value wrong. You can restrict the users from putting wrong values. But you may question that what about the values that were already present, because I can only see M and F, but it is female present. So one of the limitations with data validation is that if you apply data validation on a cell which already contains some value, it is not going to throw any error. But there is a trick to data validation. If you have applied data validation on already filled cell, you can highlight which cells are not following your data validation rule. So there is an option under the data validation called circle invalid data. The moment you will click, you will see all the cells which are not following your data validation rule. So since we have applied the data validation rule only here, so right now you can only see the circles here. Now these circles are indicative that these are the places where the values are wrong. But again there is a catch. Excel only tells you about the first 256 wrong values. After that, it will not tell you. So since there are not 256 values, I will show you in a while. So Excel only tells you first 256 values. Now that's one form of data validation where the values are very less, so you can manually supply. But what if the list of values is so large? it's so big, you can't just manually type. Let's assume that there are hundreds of values in the drop down, it's a list of cities. Then how do you do it? So for that, once again, you select your data, you go to the data validation, and again select the list. But this time, instead of putting the values manually, you just click here, and wherever your values are, you just select it and click OK. Now it is always going to take values from this list, and once again all the already invalid values are going to get captured immediately here. So anything that was already invalid will get highlighted, but wherever there is empty space, you can always go and select your value. So let's say BTech, here let's say I put MSc, and so on. You can also display the list of values using Alt down arrow key, so I don't have to keep using my mouse again and again. So that's how you can apply a list of values. So let me just clear the invalid circles and put it again. For some reason it is not getting automatically cleared. Ideally it automatically gets cleared. I am not sure what is happening, but normally it will get cleared automatically if you provide the correct values. So let me just refresh it so that you can see that it only encircles the wrong data. So that's how you apply a list-based data validation. Now what about other types of data validation? Let's say that your whole number that you are providing has to be between a certain value. So let's assume that it has to be between 18 and 36. So in that case, once again you go into data validation. There are so many options there. You select whole number, and your whole number is to be between 18 and 36. And this is not just the only option. You can select less than, equal to, more than. All the different options are there. So you can select your own option that how you want to compare the values. So in my case, it is between 18 and 36. So I select this, and if you click OK, it's all done. So now if you are going to put any value, let's say I put 45, it will not allow me at all. Because why? Because I have already specified the rule, the age can be between 18 to 36. So it's not going to allow me. So I have to apply only those values which come under this particular rule. Next is text-based validation. So this is where you can select the text length. So what I want to say is that my text username cannot be more than 10 characters. So my username should be less than and equal to 10. So I select the less than equal to, maximum value is 10 that it can take. So until I need to select this. It's a text length, and it has to be less than equal to, and it has to be 10 characters. So click OK. Now since currently no usernames are there, so let's say I put Amit 3. Now this is obviously more than 10 characters. The moment I'll press enter, it will not allow me because it is more than 10 characters. But if I simply write Amit KKK, it's going to access A B C D E F G H I J. It's going to not accept it because it is more than 10 characters. So now I'm restricting the users to the specific length which needs to be followed for this particular section of cells. So that's how you do data validation. While I show you similar thing for date, I just want to mention that all these things I cover on a comprehensive Excel basic training module also. I already have one batch running. If you guys are interested, I will start another batch. I am going to start taking entry for another batch also very soon. So I'll be putting up the details on my story very soon, and if you guys are interested, please do not forget to message me. So in this case, the date should be greater than 1st of January. So I just need to supply the date 1st of January 2020, and that's it. Any wrong date will automatically get circled. And if I supply 2nd of, let's say I supply 31st of December 2019. This is not going to accept it. So I have to put something that is after the date that I have selected. So this validation has to be between the date that I have selected. So this is how you can do data validation. Now let me show you something that I was saying before, that it only highlights the first 256. So anything that you see in a red circle are the values that are not following the data validation rules. So how can you circle all the 256? So let's go to another sheet. Let me simply write number 10 here and just copy it. If you the count is 375, that means that there are total 375 cells here, and if I apply a simple data validation here, that the value should be less than 10. So this is definitely not going to follow the pattern here. So all of them will not get. And if I clear, you see this message: your worksheet contains more than 255 invalid cells. Only the first 255 cells will be marked. So the first 255 cells are marked, rest will not get marked. So as and when you keep on correcting these values, new values will keep getting marked. So let's say if I put 2 here, another value, this will get cleared, another value will keep getting marked once you'll refresh the data. So that's how this entire thing happens. So guys, this is data validation for you. Also, once again, this is just a tip of data validation. There are so many more things in data validation, like there are different mechanisms. You can entirely restrict the users, or you can just warn the users, or you can just provide information to the users. All this I cover in my training modules. So if you guys are interested, once again, I'll be posting all the details on my story very soon. If you guys are interested in the training, it's a 5 to 7 session training that I take on batches. So next batch is starting very soon. Once I post my story, if you're interested, do drop me a message and I will get back to you very soon. So that's all about data validation. If anybody has any questions, I'm open to take questions right now on data validation. So I'll wait a couple of seconds. If anybody has any question, please put it into the message box and I will take it up. So somebody has mentioned need one session on special pasting for visible cells. Okay, I will take that up. You will get an Insta IGTV video on that. One of my favorite functions in Excel, data validation. True, it is one of the favorite things to do in Excel. It just forces your users to put the data in the desired format. Guys, I won't be able to take the view request to join me in the video, because if I do that, then the screen will get small and it will become difficult to view what I'm showing on the content. So if you have any questions, please put it on the message box. I will take it up. Okay then, since nobody has any questions, I have taken in your request for other things. I will keep it in mind and cover them in future sessions. So if nobody has any questions, then thank you for joining in my live session, and I will see you guys next Saturday once again in some other live session. I'll take a poll on the topics again, and whichever topic wins will be the part of the next session. Thanks guys, thanks a lot, bye. In paid class, can you submit notes also? Yes, I provide recording of all the sessions. So yes, if you take a paid class, you get the recording of the sessions. You get training exercises which are tailored to the things that we are covering, and in fact they cover more than what I am covering in the training session. So it basically helps you to think on your own. Also, the exercises are very interesting and very fun to do, so you will not regret taking the class. That much I can definitely say. Somebody is saying want BI analysis guidance. So that is Skarnik 19. So buddy, that is part of the advanced course, BI analysis guidance. So if you are interested, I run an advanced course. Uh, okay, I'm not audible. Am I audible now? Okay, I'll reach out to you separately. Don't worry about it. What I said, okay, since I'm audible, what I said is that for BI analysis guidance, that's part of the advanced course, which consists of VBA as well as macros, Power Query, pivot, advanced chart, advanced visualization concept, and all that. So that is part of the advanced course. If you are interested, I will share the content brochure with you and the cost also for the same, and you can get back to me if you are interested in taking it up. I'll cover you in the next batch. Okay guys, I think we are done with the questions. So thanks everyone, and I will see you next Saturday.